With working from home now more popular than ever, you might also need a space that can be used for work and for pleasure. So check out my latest home renovation project, where I've created a tranquil lounge that can also double up as a proper home office. Welcome to Finance, Food and Free Time. In this video, I'm going to show you how I went from this to this and everything you might need for a work from home space or lounge. I'll show you some fantastic options for a surround sound system and home cinema setup. I'll also show you some home automation gadgets that will help save you time and effort. And the tech and accessories I use day to day in my home office. We'll also look at some great ambient lighting choices, and I'll talk you through the different furniture options I chose and why. So when we purchased our house back in 2015, we were lucky enough to buy it fully furnished. In this room, which sits at the front of the property, there were two sofas centered around a coffee table. Towards the rear of the room, there's a set of double sliding doors which leads to our living room, kitchen, and a single door which leads out to our hall. As my kids have gotten older, I desperately needed a sanctuary to get away from Peppa Pig and Paw Patrol. So the two sofas were pushed into the corner and a makeshift TV room was created. I picked up a cheap TV for £250 at my local supermarket and propped it up between the two windows on the glass coffee table. Then, when lockdown and COVID came in the UK, I had to make a makeshift office in the same space. This left the once lovely lounge in a real mess, with a desk permanently on display, so it was time for a change. My wife and I had always wanted a fireplace, so we had a gas line brought in and moved some electrics so that we could build a media wall. This Roborock S7 robotic vacuum cleaner was the perfect thing to help keep the place clean during the renovations. It's able to vacuum and also mop.
Water tank installed. Mop mount installed.
Now, I've massively sped this up, but it can take care of the whole room pretty quickly. It maps out the space as it goes along and will show you in real time where it is and what it has cleaned. You can also set the intensity, whether it just vacuums or mops, and over time it will map out your whole house or apartment. You can block off different areas or schedule it to run by itself. So with the fireplace now built and the room looking pretty clean, it was time for a fresh lick of grey paint, some new wallpaper, and to get the mantelpiece, TV and surround sound system installed. I was aiming not to have any wires exposed, so we created this little cupboard to house all the electronics and equipment needed to run the TV. Everything in here works wirelessly, so I rarely need to open this up, thankfully, as it's a bit of a mess. All the equipment is connected to the TV via this black box and this proprietary cable that Samsung have designed to keep their TVs incredibly thin. The TV is hung using this template and sits flush against the wall. I went with the 65-inch Samsung frame TV as I wanted it to look like a picture frame above the fireplace. Amongst loads of different options, I picked up this bezel in teak to match the solid oak mantelpiece, and wired in this Dolby Atmos soundbar by Sonos called the Arc. This traditional looking fireplace is called the Huntington by Gazco. You can adjust the flames by remote control, although you do have to manually switch it on. Installation for this was not easy, and we had to create a flue in the roof of our house. With the media wall and fireplace now complete, it was time to find a suitable desk, a coffee and side tables, and some really comfortable sofas to relax on. In this corner, I opted for the Slim Jim Love Seat from Loaf. This is a perfect place to sit back, relax, read a book, and to enjoy a nice drink. I picked up these nested side tables with an antique mirrored finish, along with a matching mirror, coffee table and another single side table from a shop called Robert Langford in London. A local curtain maker whipped up these curtains in Barcelona blue. The corner couch also came from Loaf and fits in well. It's called a Squishmeister and is incredibly comfortable. When I was choosing the furniture, I looked for options that would work well with the Roborock vacuum cleaner. For the couches, I opted for ones that were raised off the floor so the robot could get in and under so we wouldn't have to do any more housework. When it's done cleaning, this thing takes itself automatically back home to the dock. They're currently selling for around £400 to £500 online. If you have different levels in your home, you'll have to carry it upstairs. It does have sensors to prevent it falling down the stairs though, and it can also tell whether it's on carpet or tile and can raise the mop mount accordingly. I purchased this optional self-emptying dock. This sucks the dust out of the vacuum and only needs to be emptied itself every couple of months, so it really cuts down on maintenance.
Emptying dustbin.
If you don't opt for this dock, it still comes with one in the box and you just empty this little thing manually every few cleans. It has spring-loaded wheels to help it get over bumps, although it doesn't like cables or too much clutter. The roller needs replacing every 6 months or so, as does the little brush that helps draw in all the dirt. It's a top product and will make your life really easy. For the surround sound system, I went with Sonos, as the speakers all mesh together wirelessly. This Arc soundbar has 11 different speakers inside it and produces some fantastic Dolby Atmos surround sound. It switches on automatically with the TV. I paired these up with two Sonos One speakers for sound on the left and on the right. This means that if a helicopter passes overhead or a door opens to one side, you feel really immersed in whatever you're watching. I put them on these adjustable brackets and set them at ear height. Ideally, you'd set them back a little bit if you had room behind you. To finish off the set, I also got this subwoofer for those low lows, rumbling noises and bass that you can really feel. I'm really happy with the whole setup and would highly recommend it. Moving on to the most important aspect of any home office, the desk. This beautiful unit made by Neptune, called the Chichester workstation, fits the bill perfectly for a home office that you can really hide away when it's not in use. It's not cheap, but came in a few £1,000s cheaper than some quotes I received from bespoke furniture makers. I ordered this in a blackeny blue colour with oak surfaces, and paired it up with this tan leather look swivel chair. The slide out work surface clicks into place with two locking mechanisms on either side. It's very sturdy and can take a lot of weight. I use a MacBook Pro, but I was looking for a more permanent solution for my home office. So I started researching monitors that would connect easily to the MacBook and turn it into more of a desktop. I settled on a 27-inch monitor as it would fit the desk pretty well. It screws together pretty easily and is the model number PD2705Q by Benk. This is a well-balanced monitor with a heavily weighted base. It's got this handle for easy transport. The screen turns from side to side, is height adjustable, and is also able to swivel into a vertical position. It's a good fit for this workstation and is geared towards video editing and graphic design. All that's needed to hook it up to the MacBook is a USB-C cable. This gives power to the MacBook and also connects it to the screen. All that's needed to get the computer fired up is just to touch the trackpad. This rechargeable Bluetooth keyboard and magic trackpad from Apple are the perfect pairing to control the Mac from a distance. The trackpad works just like the one on a Mac, with different swipes and gestures, enabling you to scroll and move through the different windows. One limitation to the desk is that it is a bit shallow. It doesn't bother me too much, but admittedly it is a compromise you have to be willing to accept. I just place the keyboard and trackpad up out of the way if I want to get on and do some paperwork. The base of the unit has two drawers that double up as filing cabinets. It's got space here where you could wire through a computer tower or keep a printer, but I just use it for stationery. It has holes pre-cut to get wires from the bottom to the top and also out the back to a plug socket. The shelves are height adjustable, so they could be configured to suit your needs. I've set them up so that they can accommodate this giant printer. I work as a property developer for a living, so I often need to print A3 plans, and this HP OfficeJet Pro 7720 is able to print in A4 and also adapts to A3. I find that having a printer close by, along with all the items I use on a regular basis, really helps to keep me productive and keep my workflow rather than constantly getting up and down to find the things I need. When the drawer closes, it automatically asks you what size paper you've just put in. It also has a photocopier and a flatbed scanner on top. On the top shelf, I keep A3 and A4 paper along with 3 of these A4 stackable bamboo trays. I use one for items I need to file, one for bank statements, and one for paperwork I've dealt with but may need to reference again. I archive these every 6 months or so in these brown files that I can tie up for storage. I picked up this antique coin jar for savings and to act as a bookend to stop my folders falling over, along with this desk organiser from Woodlove that matches the trays. This holds a whole host of office accessories, from sticky tape, elastic bands, pens, highlighters and pencils, stamps, a measuring tape for parcels, a stapler and staple remover, banking fobs, scissors, hole punch, a hard drive for backups, cables and wires for everything. One piece that I really like is this mechanical lead pencil from Koh-i-Noor. It's a beautifully weighted pencil that's a pleasure to use. It has a sharpener built into its base and is perfect for drawing and sketching on plans in a way that's not permanent. Everything fits in really nicely and it keeps your desk nice and organised. To top off my desk setup, I bought this screen liner from Qantas. Well, at least I'm hoping that's the way it's pronounced. This light bar sits on top of your monitor, is USB-C powered and throws light downwards onto the surface you're working on but not onto the screen. It has an ambient light sensor and different temperature settings for different kinds of light. It also has a manual brightness adjustment. The room itself has 9 LED downlights installed in the ceiling. I replaced the standard switch to make these dimmable and installed these adjustable downlights to replace the old static ones. This allows you to aim the light away from your eyes or onto any surface. At night time, I wanted to have some ambient mood lighting. Having some uplights where you can't see the light source really creates some great atmosphere and looks fantastic. On top of the workstation, I opted for this Bloom table lamp from the Philips Hue range. And behind the sofa, taped along the skirting board, is another product from the Philips Hue range, the Light Strip Plus. This is stuck along the skirting board using a self-adhesive backing that comes with the product. They can be cut to size, extended, they can go under kitchen islands, bed frames or behind your TV. They'll work straight out of the box with Bluetooth, but if you want to get the most out of the product, you're best to get the Philips Bridge, which connects it through Wi-Fi. This allows you to connect up to 50 Philips Hue lights and control them even if you're away from the Philips Hue app. I have the light strip, the Sonos speakers, and this 2-meter lightning cable, all powered by this flat 6-socket extension lead hidden behind the sofa. I have these automated from within the app to come on at sunset every day and to go off at 30 minutes past midnight. I'm going to add these to the outside of my house in the future. The app allows you to customize loads of different colors and shades and increase and decrease the brightness. If you've gotten this far, thanks so much for watching. I'm trying to pump out some really good content that people will enjoy. If you have, please hit like, check out some of my other videos and consider subscribing. If you have any questions or comments, just let me know down below. The Philips Hue system teams up with the Sonos soundbar to work with voice commands. Hey Google, turn the lights to yellow.
Sure, changing 2 lights to yellow.
This is great for turning the lights on or off, changing the colours, or when you're done for the day, you can dim the lights, shut up shop, kick back, relax and stream your favourite YouTube channel. Thanks very much for watching Finance, Food and Free Time. I'll catch you for the next one.